Hey everyone, welcome back to another update. Today we're unpacking Wednesday, February 25th and Thursday, February 26th. Ongoing shutdown strains, Iran talks wrapping in Geneva, Hillary Clinton's Epstein deposition, and more. Let's break it down. The partial DHS shutdown surpassed 12 days with no breakthrough despite Congress's return. The Department of Homeland Security implemented conservation, FEMA halted non disaster work, delaying over $600 million in World Cup security grants for host cities, and TSA suspended some privileges that were later stabilized. ICE and CBP operations continued via prior year funds, but morale plummeted with essential workers unpaid and non essential workers furloughed. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem blamed Democrats for risking safety, while critics tied it to Minneapolis deaths, demanding reforms. No formal talks of a deal emerged, and a potential extension into March threatens paychecks and disaster response amid weather events. On to U.S. Iran nuclear talks. Diplomacy advanced, with the third indirect round in Geneva, mediated by Oman, completed on Thursday. The Omani foreign minister called it significant progress with good momentum, and technical talks are set for Vienna next week. The Iranian foreign minister said a deal is within reach if prioritized, hinting flexibility on uranium for sanctions relief, but red lines on missiles and facilities held. On the U.S. side, Witkoff and Kushner reiterated tough demands, including dismantling key sites, the shipping out of highly enriched uranium, a permanent deal, and zero or low enrichment. Vice President Vance said there's no chance of a protracted war, and the administration has seen evidence Iran is trying to rebuild nuclear weapons. CENTCOM briefed President Trump on options, and Trump warned of bad things if no deal is made and military buildup continues. Switching to Hillary Clinton's defiant Epstein deposition. Hillary Clinton testified behind closed doors in the House Epstein investigation, calling it partisan theater. She had pushed for a public hearing, but the House Oversight Committee, led by Chairman James Comer, insisted on private depositions first, transcribed and filmed, with plans to release them later, following their standard practice of conducting closed-door interviews before any potential public hearings. Hillary denied knowledge of crimes, confident Bill Clinton had committed none. The event briefly became tense and a bit chaotic when Representative Lauren Boebert leaked a photo from inside the room to political commentator Benny Johnson, prompting objections from Clinton's team and a temporary pause while the incident was investigated. When asked why Ghislaine Maxwell was at her daughter's wedding, Hillary said she was only there as a plus one. Toward the end, questions reportedly veered into unrelated or unusual topics, including the Pizzagate conspiracy theory and UFOs, which Clinton later criticized as odd and off-topic. The full transcript and video have not been released yet, but the committee has indicated it will be made public soon. Overall, the deposition appears to have produced no bombshells, with Clinton framing it as politically motivated rather than substantive. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Zevo Life. Let me tell you about them quick. Looking for a game-changing way to improve your health? Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant, packed with over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and antioxidants. Harnessing the best nature has to offer, Zevo Life nourishes your body while driving your performance, vitality, and overall well-being. Each serving is a concentrated source of clean, well-balanced nutrition designed to support modern lifestyles, and just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. It's no wonder that it's receiving rave 5-star reviews. Step into a healthier future with a 30% discount and a 30-day risk-free guarantee by visiting zivo.life and using my promo code. To support my show and to receive 30% off your entire order, enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. The Trump administration reinstated 56 members of the U.S. Coast Guard with full back pay. They had previously been kicked out of the Coast Guard for refusing the COVID vaccine. Minnesota lawmakers filed articles of impeachment against Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison in response to the fraud occurring in their state. The Trump administration halted $250 million in federal Medicaid payments to Minnesota until the fraud situation has resolved, and CMS Administrator Dr. Oz revealed $300 billion in fraud is committed in the American health system every year. FBI Director Kash Patel fired 10 agents involved in seizing his phone records, as well as those of White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, before Trump began his second term. The FBI arrested former U.S. Air Force instructor pilot Gerald Eddie Brown Jr. for allegedly training Chinese military pilots to fight against America. Senator Jim Banks filed the Trump-supported bill that would permanently ban states from giving illegal aliens commercial driver's licenses, named Delilah's Law, after a 5-year-old girl who was almost killed by a migrant truck driver and who was a guest at the State of the Union address. Secretary of State Marco Rubio initiated an investigation into the Cuba regime's killing of 4 people on an American boat. The Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to overturn an activist judge's block on ending temporary protected status for Syria migrants. House DOJ Chair Representative Tim Burchett announced he's launching hearings to determine how many federal dollars were spent in the Congressional Slush Fund to pay off victims of sexual misconduct by members of Congress after being asked to do so by Representative Ana Paulina Luna. President Trump won the lawsuit against his new White House ballroom construction. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon and the Department of Justice sued Kentucky, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Utah, and West Virginia for refusing to turn over their voter rolls, bringing the total up to nearly 30 states. Lastly, 6 illegal alien pedophiles were arrested in Omaha, Nebraska, as part of running a child sex trafficking ring linked to Tren de Aragua. That's February 25th and 26th wrapped. Shutdown strains build, Iran talks show flickers under shadow, and Epstein scrutiny rolls on. With midterms looming, can Trump reset, or are divides deepening? Share your thoughts on Instagram or X at Shades of Jade Pod. If these catch-up episodes are helping you stay current, subscribe, leave a review, and share. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.